Home is where the heart is. Marauders took that saying a little too literally.
One of us want to go see what happened?
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it?
Reed needs his people back.
You want my flock wasting their lives in that cannery? Fine. Go and talk to them. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management.
I'm willing to deal with Reed for you.
You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or are you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same
Reed isn't just going to leave his post. I'll have to help. I'll need some help convincing him.
Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square meals for every man and woman in Edgewater. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me, and I alone know how to breathe life back into the earth. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients.
What happens when you run out of corpses?
Edgewater Cemetery's got corpses aplenty. Enough for a generation's worth of crops.
Enough talk. Okay, let's see if we can talk her
Look
into...
at that. The snakes come back.
Okay.
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead. I seen you wandering around here. You don't look like you're coming from town.
I'm just trying to get my ship off the ground.
Never heard it phrased in such a way before. I guess we're all trying to get our ships off the ground, ain't we? Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair.
Pfuh, never too late to start learning. I could give you a couple pointers.
I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs. There's one in the old community center. Should find one back in town, too. Parvati's dad had a copy. He used to take it with him when he worked at the cannery before he passed.
Today's your lucky day, Thomas. I have one of those data pads you wanted.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one?
The elusive... Actually, okay. The elusive part 3. Someone stashed it away in the old geothermal plant.
The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible. You really went exploring down there? Adelaide always told us it was swarming with hostile mechanicals. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special, on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me.
Hold on, I've got more for you.
Well, don't keep me in suspense.
Part 2.
Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. 2 whole data pads? Be still my beating heart. Oh, almost forgot your payment.
I want to ask you something.
What's on your mind?
How long have you lived here?
Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious.
You want to... What were you doing out in the wilderness?
We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go. Mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You won't survive without power. It's time to go back to Edgewater.
I've been thinking about going back. I'm not much use to anybody here. I get sick thinking about working at the cannery. I can't do that again.
Edgewater's struggling. They need all the workers they can get.
Yeah, I know. Thought's been weighing on me. Spacer's Choice could scupper the whole town unless we all pull together somehow. I could do a lot of good in Edgewater. Maybe even keep a garage of my own with a little workbench and my very own toolbox. It's just... Adelaide's never gonna forgive me. Not in 100 years. I go crawling back to my old life in Edgewater and I'm as good as dead to her.
Why is that? Alright, stay put. I'm going to try to talk to Reed into stepping down.
You know where to find me.
Alright. I should go.
I don't know what you did to talk some sense into Zoe, but I appreciate it.
There's nothing left for you here. It's time to go back to Edgewater.
The matter's been weighing on me. Zoe came back, but I couldn't keep her from slipping out in the first place. Who's to say I could keep marauders from slipping in? I don't see us lasting more than a couple of weeks out here. I'm loath to admit it. We're gonna have to make our peace with Thompson and hope he takes us back. Listen, we go back to Reed, hat in hand, begging for our old jobs back. Well, Adelaide's not gonna forgive us. She never talked to us again.
Thomas told me the same thing.
Edgewater's not just a town to Adelaide. It's a symbol of everything that's wrong with this colony. A big, heartless machine of metal and gears grinding workers down to dust. We're the closest thing Adelaide's got to a family. We go back to Edgewater, she's gonna feel betrayed.
Don't do anything hasty. I'm going to try and talk Reed into stepping down.
Sure, suit yourself. I'll be here.
Alright, let's make our way back to town. Okay, why is there another, like, what the hell is this? Optional, remove Reed from Edgewater.
What happened? Sprat fell into a transformer?
Okay, so that being said, we need to go back to Edgewater. I'm gonna go fast travel back to our own little campy camp. Oh shit, there's Vicar Max. Save the game. go back. No, these guys haven't respawned yet by the looks of it. Neither of anybody here. Maybe the, I don't know. Respawn does seem a bit inconsistent.
Cannery's been running at full capacity all day.
Must be all that extra power.
Spacer's Choice, the brand of choice for spacers on a budget.
Alright, what are you selling?
Music to my ears.
Alright, selling any good weapons. Sorry, that's got a diamond next to it. So it's got, I don't know what that means by diamond. For some reason you think this hammer should be silver. Weapon fire rate. Right, could just get rid of all the melee ones. I won't really need them. Speed grip, sure grip, whatever. Go, got our money up. That's good. Let's get sneak, medium, yeah, okay. Alright, let's see how this is going to play out.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts?
I spoke to Adelaide. She won't come back as long as you're here.
Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's Choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes. But I have done my best for this town.
Change of leadership might be what this town needs.
I am a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home.
Adelaide's people aren't getting sick with plague.
I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic.
The town doesn't eat anything but sultana. Sultuna. Sultana. Of course, you're going to get sick.
You are disparaging our parent company, and it is not appreciated. We are a Spacer's Choice Saltuna cannery. We eat Saltuna here, and only Saltuna.
I'm pretty sure it's your food that's making you sick. You need Adelaide's garden.
I don't understand. You say Adelaide's growing her own food, but that should not be possible. The soil's gone sour. Company said as much. Our own botanists couldn't grow decent crops for us, so the company got rid of them and shut down the greenhouse.
Adelaide's found a way to grow food. She'll come back if you step down.
You will excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil?
She's been using human corpses as fertilizer.
Adelaide has been using dead bodies in her fertilizer? That's... Come to think of it, that's a stroke of brilliance. What a remarkably efficient solution. Recycling Spacer's Choice property long after its date of expiration. I was wondering about those missing bodies in Silas's cemetery.
This town needs Adelaide. She won't come back as long as you're here.
So Adelaide wants me gone. Trade my life for the life of the town. You understand what she's doing. If I leave town, I am as good as dead. If I stay, Edgewater will die of attrition. Adelaide has discovered some secret cure for the plague, and she is holding my town ransom.
This town could use all the help it can get. Alright, I can't make that decision for you, Reed.
No, I don't expect you to do any such thing. Edgewater is my own responsibility, and you have done quite enough for me already. If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way. My life here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me.
What are your plans?
A couple months ago, I might have put in for a transfer. It's a big colony. Spacer's Choice has other towns. Now, I couldn't show my face in any of them.
It can't be easy for you.
I have always tried to do right by my town. It has never been easy.
Take care. Alright, that went well. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. It went well. Increase your dialogue and leadership skills. Silvertongue kick. The dialogue skills +5 isn't too bad. Leadership, it doesn't really do much for me if I'm playing solo. Alright, there we go. I guess we've got to take the long way around then. How was that sound? Right, fuck it. Back to that shitty camp. Oh, fucking hell. They respawned. I like how they respawn when I'm like, oh, they haven't respawned. Oh, they haven't respawned. Oh, they haven't respawned. And then, like, the next attempt where I fucking decide to just run through every run, is when they... Oh, my God. Luckily, this thing has splash damage. Just keep an eye out, though. I've already been in the community centre. Let's fucking leave it.
Look at that. The snake's come back.
I talked Reed into leaving. Come back to Edgewater.
I never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. We must tend to what remains of the town and carry on with our lives as best we may. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here, I'm giving you something to leave us be. It's a ransom, you understand, not a reward.
The board reputation decreased. Oh no. Edgewater's better off with you running the place.
You're telling me you did all this just to put me in charge of Edgewater? Stranger, you are some kind of twisted. I might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery bursting with bodies. I need some time to gather my personals. Long walk back to Edgewater. Got a considerable burden to carry.
Take care. Alright, we seem to be doing that shit. Okay, let's have a look at our reputation now. So the board. It's too early to tell whether this employee is competent or not. Well, these must be the these must be the big guys. I wonder, like, it's gonna be like several playthroughs worth of like content, like, you know, I mean, like, let's take New Vegas for example. You got the NCR, Legion, Mr. House, and Independent. Like, you wonder which one of these, if these work in the same sense and or something. Okay, let's have a look. Journal. Map. Abandoned industrial zone. Community center. Huh. Primal nest.